So, welcome back, boys and girls. So, we're going to continue with our comparing and contrasting. So, again, as I was saying on our comparing and contrasting Maya and Aztec civilization chart, we're going to look here on the only the Maya column because only this column is these are the things that are only unique to the Maya civilization. And the X's under the Aztec column is only the things that were unique to the Aztec civilization. For example, for Maya, because it has an X here, it was the Maya civilization was developed in the Yucatan Peninsula and parts of Central America. That is only unique to the Maya civilization. And they also use fresh water found in cenotes or natural wells. Again, that is only the Maya civilization. Aztec was developed in the Valley of Mexico. That is only unique to the Aztec civilization. And they also built aqueducts to transport water, fresh water from nearby springs. So that's also just unique to the Aztec. So, in your journal, before I had you on the last slide, I had you guys write in your journal a compare statement. Well, this time I want you to practice writing in your journal a contrast statement. So, you're going to instead of looking in the first column that says words and phrases that compare, you're going to look at this area where it says words and phrases that contrast. So you're going to use either however, in contrast, on the contrary, alternatively, whereas, instead, on the other hand, or but. For example, this was the contrast statement that I constructed. I said, in contrast to the Maya civilization, which developed in the Yucatan Peninsula and parts of Central America, the Aztec civilization developed in the Valley of Mexico. So that is a way I use the in contrast phrase here to compare two things that were about the Mayan Aztec civilization. So in your journal, it's your turn to complete it. Now we're going to go over our morphology. So it is for our focus for this part of our lesson is we're going to distinguish between a root word and words with prefix and enter you and use these words correctly in sentences to define unknown words. I had a tongue twister. So let's dive in and see what we're going to use with our root words and prefixes today. If it'll finally let us get there. Okay, so prefix. A prefix, remember, boys and girls, is a syllable or syllables placed at the beginning of a root word to change the meanings of the words. Remember, enter can be added to root words. Can be added to root words that are nouns, verbs, or adjectives. The prefix enter does not change the part of speech of the word. The affix word has the same part of speech as the word. So that means, boys and girls, when you add the prefix enter to a word, it doesn't change it from if it's a noun, it's going to continue to be a noun. If it's a verb, it's going to continue to be a verb. It just changed the meaning. So I'm going to give you two word choices, and then I want you to read the sentence, and we must decide which word choices match the sentence that's demonstrated. For example, it said Moctezuma II and Hernan Cortez had a positive meeting when Cortez arrived in Tenochtitlan. So, do you think that is A, an action, or B, an interaction? So, the positive meeting between Cortez and Montezuma, is that an action or an interaction? Well, boys and girls, we know that enter means what, boys and girls? It means to be together, to enter. So so that means that if the interaction, it was an action with them together, coming together. So that's why I highlighted B, interaction, because although it was an action, it was an interaction between Montezuma and Cortez. So you're going to highlight the correct answer that matches the sentence. And then we're going to stop right here and pick up on the next portion of our lesson.